they're definitely still crispy. If you want to know what to do with all those delicious potatoes that you've grown in your garden, well, we've got a perfect crispy potato recipe that doesn't use any extra oil, so it's healthy and delicious. Additionally, these potatoes will finish with a very creamy center, so you get a crispy crunch on the outside with some good creamy texture on the inside. To begin, you'll need as many potatoes as necessary in order to fill the pan that you'll be using. Once peeled and then sliced, these potatoes should fit into this pan with enough room in order for them to get crispy on all sides. Make sure your pan is large enough. It's better to use a larger pan than a smaller one in order to get enough airflow to get all those edges crispy. This end of the peeler is for digging things out in the vegetables if you can't get them otherwise. Most people don't know that. Get a pot of water and you can salt this to your preference, but we will be salting the potatoes later on. Put the pot on the stove and get it starting to boil. You actually want to place these potatoes into the water once it's already boiling, not before. Cut your potatoes however you like, and you can cut these as french fries, you can cut them as wedges, cubes, whatever is your preference, they'll all crisp up with this method. Once the water begins to boil, this is when you want to place your potatoes in. Do not place them in sooner. By placing the potatoes in too early, you may alter the texture, and although the potato will still be edible, it won't be as delicious as what we're looking for. By placing the potatoes into the boiling water, the outside of the potato will actually become soft, and then we can add some texture to that in the next step. All the while, the inside will remain soft and creamy, making for a very delicious bite. Let these boil for about 10 to 15 minutes, and you don't need to do anything, you can simply let them sit. Take your pan, hit it with some cooking spray. Just a light coat is fine. After draining the potatoes, place them into the pan. Now, we're going to rough these potatoes up, and this is actually going to create texture along the outside of the potatoes. This will allow them to take on more spice and get crispy while they're in the oven. At this point, you'll want to preheat your oven to 425. Here's an example of what I mean by roughing them up. Don't be afraid to be too vigorous with this, as the more you do it, the more texture you'll create. Repeat this process for a couple of minutes or until you have the desired texture. Here's a closer look at the desired texture. And again, take note of the spacing in the pan. You don't want things to be too crowded. At this point, you can season to taste. I'm going to use salt, pepper, and paprika, but you're free to use whatever you like. I like to do one initial coating on top, flip them around a little bit more, and then do a second coating. A few final flips, and just make sure that your spacing's okay, and they're ready to go in the oven once it's preheated to 425. Place them on the middle rack for about 20 minutes. Then you'll want to stir them up. Make sure that they're free from the bottom. If they don't come easily, leave them for a few minutes longer. Leave them in the oven for another 20 minutes after that, and they'll be ready. There you have it. It's that simple to have perfectly crispy potatoes on the outside with a creamy center, all without any additional oil. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch, and have a great day.